Hi, my name is Greg Rodriguez, and I'm a CPA at GJR Consulting. Today, I'm going to show you the difference between a 1099 contractor and a W-2 employee. And after this, you'll know exactly what you need to do for your business. What the heck is a 1099, right? Well, that's basically somebody that you brought on to help you, continue to grow your business. But that individual is independent. And that's going to be the key term here, independent, flexibility. They have to be in control of their own time, right? You can't tell them, hey, I need you to be here Monday through Friday or Monday through Wednesday. That starts to begin to sound like an employee, right? So when you're truly trying to cut costs, because there's a big tax savings when you hire subcontractors, you want to make sure you stay within those lines, right? It's not that we classify somebody as a 1099. We have to follow what the Internal Revenue calls an independent contractor. And in today's world, boy, it's getting tougher and tougher to qualify as that independent contractor. So you want to make sure that individual, listen, they have their own tools, they have their own facilities, they have their own insurance, they have their own team. You tell them what the task is, they give it to you based on a timeline, but there's no micromanaging, there's no, what did you do today and what are you doing tomorrow, right? That's all on them. And when you're able to qualify somebody as a 1099, you're actually going to have a huge benefit on the tax side of it, right? Because these individuals, you're going to give them a 1099 form at the end of the year. They're going to be responsible, right, for the filing of their own taxes, federal, state, Social Security, and Medicare. So that's a big load off of your operations and, of course, an impact on your profitability. So keep that in mind when you're bringing somebody in and you want to save on cost. A 1099 subcontractor might be the way to go. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about, 1099 subcontractors, right, and how to bring them into your organization, let's talk about W-2, right, the employees that you're actually going to hire, right? And it's a big difference, right? A lot of it is, control, compliance, and of course, taxes and the impact on your P&L. And basically control is, when you offer somebody a position, you're going to tell them, listen, here's your role and your responsibilities, right? And they've been, either tested or you've interviewed them to make sure that they qualify. And then, part two of that is you're going to say, I want you here Monday through Friday, right? Whatever that looks like for you, 8 to 5 p.m. You're in control. If they don't show up, you're able to actually write them up and, make a journal of, hey, you didn't show up today. You're in total control of their time. You're in control of the equipment that they use. You're in control of whether they work from home or whether they work, in your facility. Everything is under your control. And that's the big separator between who is independent subcontractor and who is an employee. And that is control. But let's talk about payroll taxes, right? You as an employer are going to be responsible for what's called, the federal unemployment tax. That you will pay at the federal level. You will also pay half of the FICA tax. And the FICA tax basically has two components. One is Social Security, which is 6.2%. And then you have Medicare, which is 1.45%. And the employee will pay an equivalent share of that FICA tax. And of course, you'll have an obligation based on how your employee fills out their W-4 form, whether they're married, single, dependents, you'll have an obligation to properly withhold federal withholding and state withholding. Pretty much it's a total game changer in terms of compliance, because when you have an employee, obviously, working our way backwards, you've got to give them a W-2 at the end of the year. Every quarter, you're going to have to file with the federal government and the state the appropriate quarterly forms that says, these are my employees, this is what I paid them, these are the taxes that I've taken out, and this is what I'm giving you, right? So compliance is big on that, because if you fail to do so, you're going to pay some penalties. And then to the point of initiation is pay stubs. Now you have an employee, you just can't write them a check that says, listen, I'm paying you $20 an hour, for 40 hours. Here's your $800. No, here's a pay stub. You worked X amount of hours at this rate. Here's your gross. Here are your deductions, and here's your net. You are under an obligation under most state laws to provide them that wage statement. If you don't, that could be a severe penalty for you. So those are some of the differences between independent contractor and an employee, and hopefully that empowers you to make the right choice as you're building your company. All right, now that we've discussed, 1099 and W-2 and the differences, what's best for you, right? Where you're at in your business and in your journey of that business. And it's going to be important to make the right choice, right? And sometimes we want to make the obvious choice of, I don't want any employees right now because you got the payroll taxes, you got the workers' comp, you got all the other benefits, if you offer them, right, like health insurance, retirement, And of course, depending on the state that you're in, there might be some sick pay that you have to, deal with. There are some requirements on that. So, keep your eyes open to all of those requirements to help you make the right decision. And again, remember, you can start out, most small business owners start out the independent contractor way because, again, less compliance, less cost. And it's a great opportunity for you to measure. If you hire somebody that's doing a specific task for you, and you have a great communication, they understand, right, the core values of your business, the work that they're doing is excellent, and the delivery is excellent. Well, once you determine, listen, I can really be more productive and make a lot more money if I bring this person in 8 to 5 and have a little bit more control, right, a little bit more boundaries, that's when you make the move and you bring them over, right? And it's going to be a position that is going to help you grow, right? We just don't hire people to fill a task. We hire people that are going to help us grow because they're good at what they do. They love what they do. And maybe the independent contractor is the best way to identify those people so you don't have a revolving wheel of hiring, firing, and laying off with all the risk associated. So again, listen, depending on where you're at in your journey, it's the choice for you. So I hope this helps. Until the next time, we'll talk to you soon.